and Rec event administrator here to talk to us about Renton River Days. Come back.
All right. Good evening, Council President and Council members. Thank you for this time to provide a brief update on Renton River Days. So I have the pleasure of being the presenter, but as you know, it's a city effort, a community effort to put on Renton River Days. And Jennifer Spencer, my co-presenter, unfortunately can't be with us tonight. She's home with an illness. So she's with us in spirit and probably virtually. All right, so just a kind of snapshot of Renton River Days, an overview. In 1986, the 501c4 nonprofit of Renton River Days was established. And this action strategically combines city and community events into one community-wide festival. So for the past 38 years, River Days has brought together the greater Renton area community together for the largest community festival that we have in the city. It's traditionally held the fourth weekend in July, and we continue to hold that tradition. So a little history. So back in 1986, River Days was established in partnership with the city and also a group of local volunteers to try to combine our multiple events into one large community event to serve the community, to really celebrate the diverse geography and culture that we have in our city. Over the last few years, we have had some new changes in rules and regulations. We have had a city liaison work with the advisory board, but due to those changes in regulations, we've worked with our advisory board to transition from a 501c3 nonprofit to a city mayor-appointed advisory board. So kind of a timeline with that. On October 5th of 2021, after many conversations with the city, the Renton River Days Board of Directors voted to dissolve the nonprofit and transition to a city Renton Advisory Board, similar to what was done back in 2018 with the Senior Citizens Advisory Board. So the ordinance to create a City of Renton River Days Advisory Board was confirmed in December of 2022, just a few months ago, and took effect in mid-January. So we're currently accepting applications for a City of Renton River Days Advisory Board members. That's open right now, and that'll be open until May 15th. I want to publicly thank all of the Renton River Days volunteers that have worked with us over the years. We have some in the audience tonight, in person and virtually, because they are continuing to work with us to plan and implement this loved event. All right. So kind of as I mentioned, Renton River Days is a large festival, probably the largest that we have in the city, so it takes a lot to put it on. The recreation division that I have the pleasure of overseeing will be overseeing the advisory board, but we work in concert with a variety of individuals throughout the city to put on this event, whether it's volunteers, residents, investors and sponsors, local nonprofits, local businesses. We'll be working with the Renton River Days Advisory Board and all of our city departments help make this event happen. So now kind of on to the fun part. So we can talk about what we're bringing back for River Days for this year. And again, we're looking to evolve River Days, looking at kind of trends of what the community wants, the ever-changing population, looking at event trends, and kind of focusing on kind of what the structure of what River Days is and what the community loves about it. So we're returning it to a 3-day festival, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be leveraging a variety of our city locations, our Don Person Senior Activity Center, downtown, the Liberty Park, our Renton Community Center, and Cedar River Park. Continuing traditions and family favorites, so our parade, kids activity zone with lots of rides, our Senior Day barbecue, to name a few. And then we have a few new events that we're bringing in this year, and each year we'll continue to evolve and bring in other new events. We have a drone show that I'll be talking about later, indoor summer bazaar, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and a volleyball tournament. And we'll be featuring technology. We started this last year. We'll continue to evolve technology and what we're using with River Days. We have a road trip around Renton. That's a fun app-based activity that'll be leading up that week prior to River Days, using QR codes so people can access and download maps and directions and schedules. And then doing working with our communications department with really getting River Days information out starting now this week. All right, so kicking it off Thursday, we'll be doing our picnic on the patio. That traditionally was held at the Renton Community Center, but last year we moved it to our Don Person Senior Activity Center, kind of having it outdoor on the patio on the riverfront side, and then as well as indoors with live music and having city staff out there with the barbecues. The seniors kind of said loud and clear that they loved it at the senior center, so we're continuing it there. So we invite all of you to come and attend and participate. That event is probably the only one out of River Days that has where you will need a reservation or appointment, similar to our other senior center lunches that we do on a monthly basis.
Madam President?
Yes.
Thank you. May I ask a question?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your presentation. This barbecue is the one that we used to have at the community center. That's what you
Correct.
say, right?
Yeah.
And now it's moved to the Don Person. Is the number of the participants exactly the same that it used to be, or you have reduced it because of the in the community center you can fit more people, but now if you're using the senior center plus the outside, can we fit exactly the same amount of people that was invited?
Excuse me, unfortunately not the same size. I think before it was like up to 500 to 600 that we could fit at the Renton Community Center gymnasium. Now, utilizing the indoor and outdoor, we're hoping to get up to about 350. It sells out. We did think about doing a morning time and a later afternoon time for future years. This year to accommodate double the amount of people, but this year we're still sticking with an 11:30 to 1 o'clock time.
Thank you. I personally, that's one of my favorite events of the River Days, because it's incredible how the seniors enjoy that barbecue. I always said it. That's the beginning of the Renton River Days, and I have never seen an event that they dance the whole day. They love it. They love the food. They love the gathering. So I understand that you have to reduce it to 350, but I wish that we could make it to the number that it was, because it was very well attended and seniors were really looking forward for this event.
If I could, and sorry, Carrie, too, not to correct. At the RCC, it was around 350. It wasn't the 500. So it is, but it is a little bit less at the Don Person Senior Center. So it is around 250 to 300 because we can use both indoors and outdoors. And to Carrie's point, the seniors were very vocal last year of how much they appreciated it being at the senior center, being able to go outside and inside, music and all the games and things that the activities that the staff puts on. So
it's the same theme.
Similar,
They bring
yes.
in the music and because I'm always impressed. I mean, that they are there to dance.
Absolutely.
That's their thing.
they love
right?
it. Absolutely.
That's their thing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. As long as we don't have to say, sorry, we are sold out, because this is an event that they wait for, So thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy. This is one of the events that I'm very happy that it's back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Comment and question. Thank you. So I'll continue on to Friday. So that was Thursday at our senior center. And then moving on to Friday, we have things kind of throughout the city. So throughout Liberty Park, that kicks off the 3-day kind of core Renton River Days at Liberty Parks. We'll have our all ages activities. We'll have some free and pay to play activities in our kids zone. We started that in 2019, and that was a successful way to help with some revenue to help offset the cost of River Days and to bring in some larger rides and activities for the older kids and more teens. We'll have stage entertainment at Liberty Park, community booths like we've done in the past. This year, that'll be new as food trucks. We'll have quite a few different food trucks throughout the park, both at Liberty and Cedar River Park. And then we're moving our summer bazaar from outdoors at Liberty Park to indoors at the Renton Community Center. We feel this will help, especially if it's a hot weekend, to have kind of a reprieve for some of the activities to be indoors for both the vendors and also the participants. Henry Mose Aquatic Center will be open. And again, we'll have the food trucks throughout the Cedar River Park as well. Continuing on Friday, so downtown, we're partnering with the Renton Downtown Partnership. They're putting on a pub crawl and a Lucky Duck poker walk from 5:30 to 8:30. We'll be working with the Pavilion Event Center on a beer and wine garden there. We'll be having live music there by the Hipsters at Piazza Park, entertainment from 7:30 to 9. And new this year, since we're not able to do our 4th of July fireworks festival because of the Gene Coulon construction, we decided to do a drone show to really kick off River Days. It's the first year we're bringing it back after COVID to this scale. So that'll be downtown at Piazza Park right after the band ends and after the pub crawl at 9:30. And that's about a 10 to 15 minute show, but it should be a pretty amazing experience.
What is a drone show?
Drone show, okay. I don't even know if I can articulate exactly what a drone show is, but this company is what we're using with this for the Space Needle fireworks show. I don't know if you got to see that, but they had some drones kind of interwoven in between the fireworks on New Year's Eve. But basically, it's like a light show where you can have different designs and logos. For instance, like some of our sponsors will be up, their logo, or the City of Renton logo will be up in the sky.
Madam President, not that I'm an expert on this at all, far from it, but we did have a discussion on this on the LTAC committee when they asked for funding, and I can't remember the city that did it. I don't know if it was Redmond or someplace. What was it?
Redmond.
Yeah, I mean the description of it. I mean, it sounds like it's absolutely amazing, and multiple drones and that sort of thing. So it's. And may I ask a question behind yours? What is a poker walk?
You know, I am
Because
not
I don't
sure.
play
We have our
cards and walk
downtown
well at the
residents.
same time, especially if money's involved.
Good question.
Thank you.
I'm not the expert either, but I
Okay.
think I can provide a little bit of information. It's, I believe the participants get tickets. They can go from business to business, and you probably get like a card, and you go to a certain amount of businesses, and you try to get the best poker hand that you can. So that's like a very rough version of it, but that's essentially what the poker walk is. And to Carrie's point, I think the drone show, and I don't want to overplay it, but I think it's going to be fantastic. And we don't want to give up some of the surprises, but it'll be very Renton centric, and it'll have a lot of great light show features up there. So it'll be fantastic.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question? Thank you, Kelly. So, the beer and wine garden at the Pavilion Event Center is gonna be also the 3 days. It's gonna be also Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or which?
Yeah, good question. Currently, we're scheduling it and working with Kenny on getting it going for Friday night. But in 2019, you may remember with the River Days, we had a beer garden in the basketball court at Liberty Park. We're utilizing that space for a 3-on-3 basketball tournament this year. So we're looking at the opportunities to have a beer and wine garden in Liberty Park again for the Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Not in the kid zone.
Okay. Yeah, because let me go back. So we used to have 1 year or two. We have a beer garden at the Liberty Park. 1 year, right? But now we're not gonna have it at the Liberty Park. We're gonna have it at the Pavilion Center. Or we
Yes, because we're working in partnership with the Downtown Partnership
Okay.
on that. And so to Carrie's point, also, we're looking at space in Liberty Park to transition that into the park after Friday night.
Also, it's gonna be like mix.
Yeah, so it'll be in Piazza Park because of all the festivities that are going on in the park, plus then the drone show and the poker walk and everything.
Yeah.
And then the team is working on getting that back into Liberty Park. Not in the basketball court because
Yeah,
Carrie's point, we have a 3-on-3 tournament there, but looking at a good site for that to happen in the park, probably where the vendors, all the booths and things are at there. And the stage, we'll have the stage there as well.
Thanks.
So on to Saturday. So this is a tradition that's a well-loved tradition as well. So kicking off kind of two different things in the morning time. So at our Don Person Renton Senior Activity Center, working with the Renton Lions Club on a pancake breakfast, and then also a 5 and 10K walk that I'll take off right on the riverside of the senior center. And that's a fun, free opportunity to get out and get some exercise that morning. And then we'll be bringing the parade back just as we did last year, but even bigger and better with more entries from 10 to 11 a.m. Down South 3rd Street. And then Saturday looks fairly similar to Friday in Liberty Park and our RCC and HMAC campus, with the addition of a volleyball tournament on the sports field right next to HMAC, our Henry Moose Aquatic Center, and that 3-on-3 basketball tournament that we're wanting to bring back. That was done many years ago through River Days weekend. And then with Sunday, again, a lot of the same activities on Sundays, and then ending at 3:30 with our Rubber Ducky Derby that's put on by our Rotary Club of Renton. Wow, so that was fairly kind of quick snapshot. And as you can imagine, we're planning all of this as we're transitioning Renton River Days from a separate 501c3 nonprofit to a city advisory board. So we're doing that in parallel as we're trying to plan and map out what we're doing. So we're excited about this year. It's going to be bigger than we've had in quite a few years because of COVID. And I think each and every year will kind of get better. And we're really looking forward to bringing in some either existing Renton River Days volunteers or new River Days volunteers to be on our board. So that way we can get some ideas and energy to kind of strengthen this community festival for years to come.
Madam President. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's good to have Renton River Days back. It's, a highlight of the year for me and so many other people. So if someone wants to consider being appointed to the River Days board, what do they need to do to make that happen?
Good question. So it's similar to all of our other city advisory boards. So if you go to the rentonwa.gov website, I believe it's on the front page. I think it's rentonwa.gov/applications, but I can send that information out after the meeting.
I'm sorry. You'll also be doing a blast on social media, Facebook,
Yes,
Twitter,
yeah,
whatever.
we did thank you. So we did a press release just over the last few days, doing a big social media boost, working with communications to get that out widely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Question about the downed tree and how that's going to affect the rubber ducky race.
So we'll be working with Rotary on that. We may need to make some adjustments. Obviously, the tree is spanning not close to half of that portion of the river. So we'll work with Rotary on where we can release the ducks.
Is the tree literally in the water?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I haven't seen it. Okay. Yes.
And to follow up on that, will the city be working with the Rotary to ensure that no baby ducks unnecessarily lose their lives this year?
We always work as best we can with the environment that we're in. It's not anything that's ever planned, that's never happened before. So our intent is not to have anyone or anything be hurt during the ducky race.
Follow-up. I think there was the issue in basically how they were being collected, and so maybe there could be work on that particular endeavor and how the duckies are collected, so there's no waste going into the lake. And if real little baby duckies, I'm just gonna say it was really awful to see little children giving a baby duck mouse to mouse trying to save its life. If anything we can do to try to prevent that again, I really hope that's point of a conversation, because that was one of the worst things I've ever seen ever.
Absolutely. That, like I said, in the 38 years we've been doing this, that's the first that's ever happened. Waste does not go down the river from the rubber duckies, so that's why they're collected like they are. But there'll be plenty of volunteers out there to make sure that it's as safe as possible.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you for the presentation. I know you mentioned about the board transition and having it be an advisory board of the city. Is there, I don't recall, is there a youth position on the board?
Yeah, I think kind of the trend with our city advisory boards is to have at least one youth member. So we will have that on the Renton River Days board as well.
Okay. So when I was looking over this, the question came to mind. Friday night sounds like in downtown a lot of stuff is going on. And got the pub crawl now, this poker walk and beer, wine garden, the entertainment, the drone show. I was curious as to Well, but Saturday, nothing really downtown. I mean, a 3-day event. I mean, when I think about what could kind of still be going on. I mean, I know in the park, but downtown, was there a reason why? Was it just resources? Was it just trying to combine everything? I thought some of those things could be kind of conflicting. After a pub crawl, it's like, okay, well, I'm ready to go home. Sometimes Fridays, people don't necessarily, Saturday just seems like a day where they might have more time to prepare, go downtown, and that sort of thing. So I guess in the question is, why not activity that involve downtown on Saturday night as well?
We have, sorry, Carrie, we have historically, because the parade has been in the downtown on Saturday mornings. And then it's gone into Liberty Park where all of the festival is. To have businesses affected throughout the weekend sometimes is a little difficult for them. Which is why the Friday night is not just at Piazza, but it's the pub crawl. It's getting them out into the rest of the businesses, trying to keep that active. So we've gone to the traditional, just doing the parade in the morning, not of trying, because of the street closures and everything, not trying to affect the businesses, but then having a festival where the families could go. We heard it pretty loud and clear last year, although we were having to plan late because we weren't sure what we were allowed to do last year. And we tried to keep it in the downtown thinking that was going to be good. But we heard, again, like I said, loud and clear, that family festival, kind of the way that River Days has been in the past, was what the community wanted. So that's why we kept it with the parade and then back to the two parks.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, 'cause Liberty Park is just, there's more space there to have all of the kids' activities plus bands and so forth. But I think over the next few years and, evolve, if there's opportunities to partner with the Downtown Partnership for something on Saturday night as well, I think that would be a great addition to it. But for this year, primarily downtown Friday night, the parade, and then the park. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
President. Thank you to both of you. Thank you for your enthusiasm. This is the summer is something that people are waiting and expecting, and Renton River Days is a thing. So I'm very excited as well. But also because of that, there are very high expectations. So two things. Can you share the results of the survey with us that you have last year?
Yes, definitely. And also, I forgot to publicly acknowledge and thank Sonia Maylander, who's here. She's been the lead and the liaison for the Renton River Days, separate nonprofit over the last many years. And so she's been instrumental in putting on this event. And so Sonia has all of that. And so either Sonia or I can get that to all of you. Last year, we didn't have as many survey participants. I want to say like 60 to 70, maybe it's more than that. But we can also get you the survey results from 2019 as well, if you'd be interested.
Thank you.
We do surveys every year. So.
Yeah, I know, and that's great because we have a wonderful feedback, and people are very loud all the time about what they are expecting. The high expectations are as well to the parade. The parade last year, they love to go to the parade, but they want and expect a big parade with a lot of emotion and a lot of things going on. And I hope that this year we can deliver, what the people are coming to, and I know that the feedback for the Liberty Park activities are also very strong sometimes, and tell you what they like and what they don't like, what music they want to hear, and what kind of food they like. So I know that you guys are watching that very close, but my major concern is the parade. Because of last year, I heard so many people felt so disappointed, and I know that we have a lot of explanation of what is happened, but I hope that this year they will know, oh, this is the parade,
Absolutely. This year we're able to plan fairly normally, where last year, like I mentioned, had been a little shorter planning cycle. And so the parade, we were still, up to a month prior, like, were we even able to have a parade? Because everyone was like, do we want to be in it or not? With just coming out of the pandemic and just businesses getting back up and running. So we're very excited for the parade this year because we think there's going to be a lot of really cool entries, and we're challenging some other people to bring out some fun things. So
that's right. Thank you.
And I don't remember if I mentioned or not, but the parade entries as well as the community booth entries for the nonprofits, those open tomorrow, kind of by 5 p.m. So we'll be working with communications to be doing a lot of social media blasts and press releases saying, hey, entries are open, come now. And like Kelly said, last year we didn't hear about our COVID restrictions and, if we were going to be doing a large scale, mid scale or not for River Days until a few months prior. So it was really hard to kind of pull it all together. But this year we're able to launch it now. Rather than in like end of May, which makes a big difference on how many applicants you get.
And to Carrie's point, the other great thing is that we plan on starting, I think tomorrow actually, a lot of press releases, a lot out on social media, a lot through all of our promotional channels, so that people know it's what to expect and what they can participate in, where things are going to happen. Lots of, all the new things that are going on. We have the adaptive rec swim that's Saturday night as well at HMAC. And so there's a lot of great things. The volleyball tournament, there's going to be a lot of, action and activity going on in both the parks. So we're really excited.
Yes, thank you. That was not a question, just a comment. That was basically what to say. It looks action-packed. It looks great. So I'm really, really excited for some of the things bringing. Especially, I want to just kind of say the drone show in particular caught my eye because I had heard what Redmond did for 4th of July. Was actually going to ask if that was something we were considering for 4th of July. So fingers crossed this goes well, and maybe that's something we can consider as kind of a greener alternative to fireworks in the future. And I'll put my plug in right now for something to accompany that drone show that could be kind of fun. Coming on the heels of what I understand was a very successful Dragon Dash, a glow run could be kind of a fun thing. Not in 2023, obviously in 2024, maybe to pair with that.
Absolutely. And yes, the Dragon Dash was very successful. We had over 300 participants, so that was pretty fantastic. Great idea. So we'll take note of that.
Well, and more up-to-date information will be on the Renton River Days website. And so that's in the city now too. So it's rentonwa.gov/River Days. So we have kind of our general schedule there, but as we're updating things, that'll be kind of the point to go to find information. And this week, our summer guide, our Let's Go Renton Recreation Guide, will be online and in print available. So be on the lookout for that because that'll include River Days information, but all of our summer events and programs and classes and activities that we're doing.
Yeah, if I may have one more question. In terms of the community booths, because you guys are saying big events this year, and so I wanted to ask, are there limitations? Is there a cap in terms of vendors? Is there a cap for the community booths, but then also for the parades, right? How kind of just so then I understand the when we're talking about having more entries. So is there any caps in terms of there's like 100, organizations that will be in the parade or 100? I'm just throwing out a number there.
Liberty Park does have limitations space-wise, and I can't remember. I want to say we can get up to 100 booths plus.
So in the past, we'd have about 60, 65 in terms of the community booths, which are nonprofits, city departments, festival sponsors.
But we have space for more.
We could put more in Big Liberty or change the footprint. With the summer bazaar, where the art market will be, that may increase some space up. If I say Big Liberty, the bigger ball field.
Yeah. And then as far as the parade, I don't think we've ever had to limit. From my years, we've never, because we've not had like 200 entries. I think what all that does, number of entries, it just pushes us out to where we stage them. Then it's the traffic control plan to make sure that we've got those street closures for room for them. And then it's just the time to get the parade through down 3rd Street. So
Kind of new this year that for the community booths, we're encouraging a lot of the city departments and divisions to be there to showcase what they do for the to the public. Sponsors, so sponsors at a higher level can have a booth in the park, and then it's open to nonprofits as well. Yeah, for a nominal fee, I believe it's $50 for one day, $100 for all 3 days to be in the park.
So thank you very much. I will take a point of privilege here. And speaking of Sonia being instrumental, I had the distinct privilege of going to Carco Theater on Saturday for the 2023 Women's Barbershop A Cappella quartet competition, of which our very own Sonia was a major star. And she and her quartet are going back east for a national competition. And that was a delight. Thank you very much. And so I just wanted to call that out. She's, yes,
Very cool.
she's very instrumental. All right. If there's nothing else, I think we're adjourned. Thank you.